I don't take this opportunity lightly. I'm grateful for this opportunity. And I'm a quantity surveyor by profession. And I'm just going to be sharing with you what that is all about. It might not be a familiar career to most of you, but yeah, it's a career that also when I started, I didn't have much insight about, but I learned that it was actually something that I enjoyed, something that was good for the qualifications that the qualities that I enjoy. Yeah, I'm going to just speak about what you do on a day-to-day basis when you're a quantity surveyor. It's generally budget management and cost management of a construction project, right? When a client wants to build a house or a construction project or a development project, they will go to a quantity surveyor. They will want to know what the budget is of that building project. And a quantity surveyor will drop the cost estimate, and if the client has the budget for the project will go on, and the client will appoint an architect who will draw up and from there a quantity surveyor will be just guiding the client as to how much it is actually going to cost and how much the end product is going to be, and also looking at the professional fees that are involved, your engineers and your engineers and also your architects. So when the project is ongoing, the quantity surveyor will be responsible for cost management and just making sure that the contracts that you've signed with the professional team, that you're just looking in those interests. Yeah. And also, if you're a client, a contractor, quantity surveyor, I'm sorry for just jumping around, but if you're a contractor, quantity surveyor, you are responsible for submitting project bids, pricing, bill of quantity, and submitting for approval. If you are the successful bid, then you are responsible for actually managing that project. And just the requirements for quantity surveying, it's you need to enjoy doing your maths. You need to enjoy doing your math and your sciences. And from there, because you're working with numbers on a day-to-day basis, you are mostly doing cost accounting in the construction project. So that's generally what it's all about.
Greetings to you all in the name of Jesus Christ, amen. My name is Mrs. Chingonzo. I am a professional nurse. So I'm going to tell you about nursing. For you to be able to get into the school of nursing, you need to have mathematics, you need to have passed your English, you need to have passed your biology, your physical science. So it's basically the sciences that you need for you to get into the nursing school or even the medical school. So in nursing, I qualified for my nursing in 2002, back then in Zimbabwe. So for the past 22 years, I'm a professional nurse. There are different types of nursing. There is a general nurse who does their training over the period of 3 years. This can be done in nursing schools and universities here in South Africa. So if you want to be a nurse, a professional nurse, you have to make sure you have your right subject, plus you have to have a calling. Nursing is a calling on its own. So it's not a matter of you knowing physical science, having mathematics and everything, but you have to have your heart in it, a heart for the people. Why do I say so? These people that you've been nursing, they're different walks, they're coming from different walks of life, and it's people who have their own problems at home. So you as a nurse, you have to be able to absorb all those things and from their relatives as well. So you're dealing with the patient, you're dealing with their relatives. So you have to be compassionate and you have to understand from where they're coming from. You see, if somebody has got a patient and they bring them to the hospital, they're expecting instant response, they're expecting you to act upon everything that they're saying. So you have to know what how you feel about it. You talk to the patient, you talk to the relatives in a nice manner, because we find most of the people, I don't know, there are some people in nursing that get into nursing without the compassion. So if you don't have that heart for the people, you're always one of those nurses that they talk about, that the nurses are rough, nurses are bad. So in nursing, there are types and different categories of nurses. It doesn't have to be a bedside nursing that you do every time. A registered nurse can be by the bedside. A registered nurse can also be working in a psychiatric unit. So you have to specialize in different, after you do your 3 years, your first 3 years, then you choose a field that you want to specialize in. You see psychiatric unit, geriatric nursing, there is trauma, where you deal with the patients who are coming, the emergency. Okay, let's clap our hands as our apostles come in. Thank you. There is a surgical nurse, an operational theater nurse, pediatric nursing. There is also a midwife. So you find there are different types of nurses that you find. There are also nurses who are working in companies, and there's a special diploma that you need to do for each and every stage. So it happens in the first 3 years that you go into nursing, you decide which area you want to be in. If you want to work with the kids, then you can go into the pediatric section. If you want to go and work in the trauma section, is where I am. I love being in the trauma unit. I know it's scary for most people, but that's my favorite area. Why I chose that is because it gives you, there's a sixth sense that you need when you are working in the trauma unit, because you have to act quick, you have to act according to what you have, where you triage the people and you put them in different categories. I love being in that department, simply because if I see you, it's going to be for 30 minutes or an hour. I'll act quickly and I know you are going to the next department or you're going to be admitted in hospital. So I don't have to see the same person every day. So I like that, and it also gives you that chance to act quickly on what you're doing. So there are different avenues that people can get into in nursing. It's quite broad. It doesn't have to be boring, and to say nurses are just wearing uniforms and it's a boring field. But it's up to you. After your first 3 years, you decide which area you want to work in. Thank you.
Thank you once again, our panelists. We've learned a lot. So it is quite interesting for us to note that in professions, it's not only a degree that matters. You can do well with a certificate, you can do well with a diploma, and for some professions, you only start doing well with a PhD. Like in my case, I only started doing it when I got the PhD because I was in the humanities. So it is very important to know that having a degree does not automatically mean that you're going to be employed. All right, so we leave this time to our co-facilitator, Tadi, for the questions.
Oh, the mic is
In this church, we are very rich. We've got such a diverse panel here, and some of the things that have been highlighted are that you need to assess yourself as an individual, see what are your strengths, what are your weaknesses, and what are your passions. So I just wanted to know, when someone is choosing and deciding a career, what are some of the things that they should? For example, if you are a student and you're in matric and you are looking to apply to university, let's say you are interested in doing medicine, but your maths marks, they don't reflect. What are some of the steps that that person decide a career which is best suitable for them?
Thank you. So if someone is interested in doing medicine, as per particularly medicine, if you're going to be a medical doctor, you need, it's a must, you have to be good in mathematics. Why is it so? Even for the nurses, you have to have your mathematics. You find there is a drip that's going on, that's running on a patient. It has to be calculated how many drops are going in per minute. So if you don't have your mathematics, you do not. The drugs that patients get, it's per weight. How much is this person weighing? And it's equivalent to what the patient is supposed to get. So if you're not good with numbers, then definitely you will have a difficult time. So what we'll encourage is somebody can go back and rewrite. You get 2 sittings for your mathematics. If you pass, then you go for it. If you don't, then it's high time to choose another profession.
And maybe if I can come in, maybe this one addressing the parents. I think the times we need to stand forcing our kids to do something that we want them to do, yet maybe they're not good enough for that. Many kids are suffering because I say I'm a plumber, so you must become a plumber. I'm a doctor, you must become a doctor. But mama, I'm not that smart. What other options are there? When I grew up, I used to say I want to be a pilot. But when I went to school and I got my C's, I knew I wouldn't be a pilot with my C's, but I would become an artisan with my C's. So we need to go to the drawing board and say, how is this child talented? For example, I give an example that from next year, at grade 9, some kids won't even need to go to matric. Because at grade 9, you're able to enroll at Northlink, at Falls Bay, at College of Cape Town, to do an apprenticeship. And by the time your NQ level 4 that you get is equivalent to somebody who's done matric. And they are also able to go to university. So what are we saying? We are saying, parents, let's revisit our stance with regard to our children. If they're technically minded, let's send them to technical schools so that they can be groomed, and you find that they will excel better. Because some of these technical fields, people are earning much more than people who are getting degrees, especially with artisans. Because when you're an artisan, you get your salary. Yes, your gross salary is less than an engineer or your manager, but because there's a lot of overtime, you end up going home with double or triple your salary, which is more than the engineer who's got 2 or 3 degrees. And as an artisan or whatever other trade, you can still pursue and also end up having degrees and move away from being somebody who works with spanners, but to be somebody who manages those people who work with spanners. Thank you.
Thank you so much for touching on that topic of parents and helping their children decide careers. So now I'm just going to leave time to the audience to ask questions to our panel regarding careers. So whether you're a student and you have a question about maybe one of the careers that one of our panelists are in, or you're a parent and you want some advice on how you can help, the floor is open.
A question as such, but I'm an educator. What I also want to say, before move to the FET, further education and training, which is grade 10 to 12. In grade 9, all schools, they send circulars to parents that there is going to be a subject choice night. And it's disappointing to see that parents, they don't come. On those nights, like teachers will present, if you are, there are subjects like tourism, computer application technology, IT, history, depending on the subjects that are offered at that school. If there are 14 subjects, like at my school, there will be 14 educators who will present to the parents, telling them the job opportunities in that subject, so that when children are choosing or parents are choosing subjects for their children, it's a matter of, no, I want you to become this, I want you to become this. There are more career options than during our times. We are sticking to teaching, nursing. I want you to be a doctor, I want you to be an engineer. But now there are more subject choices. So I encourage us as parents, when schools call for meetings, let us go there. And Amropa was saying, we have recommended a number of learners in the past. You see that academically they are not doing well, but they are good at technicals. At grade 9, a learner can move from high school and go to an FET college, further education training college, where they are learning academics and they are also doing the technical aspect. And they do well in their lives. And also as parents, let us not force our children to live our dreams. I wanted to become an electrical engineer, then I forced my son Joseph that electrical engineer, nothing else. Thank you.
Thank you. I've got two questions. Damoropa, thank you so much for what you said. And my first question is along those lines. So my first question is, we've got so many people out there, our brothers and sisters with degrees, others even more than one degree, but with no jobs. It seems like nowadays, the only connection, the only way of getting a job is through connection, or if you're connected to God. And thank God some of us, we are connected to God. But if it wasn't for that, maybe we wouldn't even be doing the jobs that we're doing. So my first question is it wise to go to varsity and study for years and years and then pray and hope that you get a job? Or is it wise just to do a short course, get a job, and then make the money, and that's it? My second question is, looking at the times that we are now, people are making money being entrepreneurs. And I think it's actually a career that an entrepreneur is a career on its own. So maybe we should have entrepreneurs also out there representing that as a career, because we've noticed that with times that we're in now, people are actually making money just opening a musika. Start with one musika, make money, and it becomes more. So is it wise that we are still trying to concentrate on going to varsity and schools, or just becoming an entrepreneur, make money, open businesses, and maybe do a short course nyana after that? Thank you.
So I'll just try to answer the first question about short courses or degree. In my own opinion, I don't think there's a one-size-fits-all. It depends. I can say it depends. If anyone would come to me and will ask me, there are so many situations or reasons why one thing can work and the other thing cannot work. if someone would come to me and say, okay, you know what, you are a chartered accountant, I want to be what you are. I can't just say, yes, go for it. There are so many questions that you have to kind of like try to ask. Some of them you'll be looking at the time, because for you, obviously, to become one, you need 7 years. Like you're saying, that imagine you have to go through 7 years of that, right? But I can as well say that there are some short courses which someone can actually do, which can get them somewhere, but it will be a bit of a different situation. Then the other careers, like here, my sister Tadiwa, she's in IT. Yes, she has gone through the whole process of having a degree and all, but also there are some short courses which one person can do. I've got a few other colleagues, because also on my part, in as much as I'm working professionally, I've realized that, okay, you know what, you can also do something on the side. So I've got other people that I just do consulting on, and some of them, they're in IT. And when I was just speaking with them to say, okay, I've got maybe friends who want to do the same field. They always say that there's no one size fits all. You can do what really works for you. The opportunities, like what you're saying, sometimes when you've got experience, like you can get through experience. If you've got an opportunity to get experience, when let's say you do a short course and you start building your experience, because experience beats academics, to be quite honest. If I find someone with a degree but without experience, but I find someone without a degree with short courses but with experience, definitely you can go for someone with experience. So in my own opinion, there's no one size fits all. It just depends with you. It does depend with the resources. It just depends, because a degree is also good to do. If you've got the ability and the time to do it, yes, of course, you can still go for that. In terms of opportunities, in terms of even connections, even when you've got short courses, you might still want to get employment. So I still think that it still depends on the circumstances of each and every situation. So I'll leave this time to my sister here, to add on.
Thank you. So I'm going to start off with the entrepreneurial aspect that you talked about. The way I see it, I see entrepreneurship as a skill. So it doesn't matter whether you have a degree or you don't have a degree, but entrepreneurialism is a skill. So when we look at going to varsity, there are some careers that you cannot get to without going to university. For example, if you want to become a doctor, an engineer, you need to go through the path of university. So we cannot rule out and say just because there are doctors who are unemployed, therefore university is not helpful. University is very helpful, which is why we also want to stress and emphasize the importance of doing your research while you are still in high school. Recently, the Minister of Education as well, as the other minister, sorry, I forgot the name, but they also put out a list of critical skills. So while you're still in high school, when you're choosing your subjects, it's important that you also look at this critical skills list. What this critical skills list helps you to understand is that, for example, there's a shortage of software engineers. So now when you're planning your career, you can choose, okay, I'm going to go the software engineering route. And how you become a software engineer can be unfolded in many different ways. Either you can choose to go via a boot camp, you can choose to go to university, or you can choose to get an internship, but your journey and your final destination is software engineering. And the thing is that is so wonderful and amazing about choosing careers that are on the critical skills list. Most of us here, we are foreign nationals and we need permits. If you choose a career that's on the critical skills list, you are guaranteed to get papers, which is therefore an added bonus. And then to add on that, for example, I'm just going to stick to the example of being a software engineer. So now once you've become a software engineer, you are not limited to working for a person. This is when we introduce entrepreneurism as a skill. So I can now start doing projects for people and I'm working for myself. So if the thing of getting a job doesn't work out, I can still get my own clients and I can work for myself. So I hope that answers your question. And also, with university, you also need to be very careful with the programs that you are choosing. There are some careers that are literally being outdated. Like you can even go online and search certain careers that existed 10 years ago. They do not exist now. So which is why, again, I'm stressing the importance of doing your research before you select a career. In this church, it's also very amazing because we've got people in all sorts of career fields. So if you don't know, let's say someone who's doing accounting, go to your pastors, go to your elders, ask, do you know anyone who's doing accounting, and they can help guide you. For example, when I was in university, I wanted to go and study chemical engineering, but I decided to go and seek the advice of someone who was already in the working field, and I went to Elder Mara, and he told me, no, chemical engineering, it's a bit of a complicated process. Instead, try looking at IT. And now I'm so grateful because I've gone to consult the elders, and now I had the information, okay, IT is the new thing, it has got many career options, and that is how I ended up getting my current job and in how I'm in the current space that I'm in. So just my takeaway points, entrepreneurism is a skill. You can work for yourself with whatever that you studied. Number two, not every career can be, you can learn on your own or at a boot camp. You actually need to go to university. Number three, you need to do your research, look at the critical skills list. And number four, seek mentorship and guidance if you are not sure what you want to do. Thank you.
And maybe just to add a little bit, I see my sister mentioned issue of doing short courses, then you make money, say you want to do something that's quick. You know, people they want quick things. They want to make money very fast. So here's a way. These days, schools, COVID has taught us a very good thing that you can study online, which most colleges are moving into. Right now, I'm an artisan, but I'm sitting with 2 degrees, which I've done online, me working, not sitting in class full time. So you need to look at what courses, what degrees, or what courses can I do while I'm working as a waiter in the meantime, but I develop myself and start to study online part-time in the evenings when other people are playing around, you are studying. By the end of the day, you are a waiter, but after 2-3 years, you are somebody who's a waiter, but with a degree, now looking for opportunities. Opportunities are there, like she said, let's look at the critical skills. Some of us were now fully employed or permanently employed because we chose critical skills which the South African government doesn't have. That's why they're even taking foreigners to fill those positions. And with a critical skill, the moment you apply for a permit, they give you a 5-year work permit and you qualify for permanent residence there and then. Why? Because you have a critical skill which is not even a degree. For example, if you're an electrician, you're a toolmaker, you're a CSC 10, you qualify a fit and tenor automatically for critical skills pit. So we're saying, look at what is it that I need to do. One last example. If you look at somebody who wants to do operations management, for example, at CPUT it's 3 years to get a diploma for operations management. But if you enroll with colleges like Mankosa, you can do a 3-year degree of Bachelor's of Business Administration where operations management is part of the modules. So after the 3 years, you've got a degree, you've got human resources, you've got economics, you've got accounting, all in one. But the person who has done 3 years, over the same period, he only has a diploma in one thing, which is operations management, of which you would have got a whole buffet of qualifications using 1 degree and doing it part-time, you working at the same time.
Yes, my contribution on this is I would want to advise someone to avoid riding on someone's testimony. You see someone in your area from where you are coming from, they are making it, doing all sorts of things, and they have not gone to school. It's not a certificate or a warranty that if you go that route, you will be successful. So the best thing is to look into yourself, your abilities. What is it that I know? What is it that I can do? And you also do career guidance. You speak to people. People help you with your abilities according to your own ability. Education to me is very important because even if you want to be an entrepreneur, you are not going to be shortchanged if you have been to school. If you just say, because I saw Elder so-and-so, no education, he only went up to grade 7 and he's making it, he has got cars, he has got houses. There is a lot behind what we see here in church and in the streets. Someone might be in church, they are not telling you exactly what they are doing. The preaching that we were hearing here since last night up to today, if we listened, we can have people here in church who are no longer supposed to be in church, who have expired. Meaning to say there are people who are not living a straightforward life, but you just copy them because they are telling you that they are becoming successful with what they have and what they are doing, which might not be true. So I would want to encourage a young person today that go to school until you can no longer go further. Then look for something that you can do with what you have acquired. Like I said in my story, I failed O levels. While I was trying to kaurura, what I wanted to do, I could not do it. But thank God there was another route. I had to search and find the route that would make me an artisan. And here I am today. I'm an artisan. Even if now I'm an entrepreneur, but I'm an informed entrepreneur because my entrepreneurship is within a field, a trade that I'm trained in. So no one can shortchange me. Thank you.
Still on that point of entrepreneurship, I would like to give the example that you said about Musika. If you have your market, you have your Musika there, you need at least to have knowledge of how to calculate your profits. You need to know that you don't take your profits to go and buy. How do you know that? You have to do those short courses. Thank you.
Do we have any more questions?
Thank you very much. I just want to ask those in the health professions, maybe also encourage someone. I know of a friend after A levels, he did not do that well to enroll for medicine, but then he enrolled for BSc nursing. After completing the BSc nursing, he then enrolled for medicine. So today is a medical doctor. That's number one. Number two, I want to encourage also us as parents. I'm a tutor, I tutor maths, I love maths, but I don't love teaching. But I'm doing that because that's what I can do. I had someone, a parent, who was sending his son to me for tutoring, and I could see as I was trying to tutor that boy that this one, even if I try so hard, it's difficult for this one to pass. But the mother insists that he must do maths and rewrite it last year. But I could still know this one cannot do it. Because the boy had his own career path that he wanted. The mother wanted him to do something else. And they were colliding there. So when I'm tutoring him, his mind is not there because he does not like it at all. So me as a parent, I'm forcing my child to do what they don't want to do. Right. Another one. Sometimes also as we are studying, let us also have ears that can listen and eyes that can see. When I enrolled for my bachelor's degree some time back, when we were almost finishing, I studied Bachelor of Science Mathematics. We were given an opportunity to say those who want to add an additional semester so that you graduate with a Bachelor of Science Mathematics with education, you will have it. So I have my BSc Maths, but also have what? Education. As because I did not like teaching, I said no. I came here, I was teaching now, and I went to a workshop with some doctors, when I was doing my good presentations there. But the people knew that I don't have a qualification in education. They advised me to say, hey, I want you to come to UWC and do a postgraduate diploma in education, fully funded. But they saw the potential that I have. They say the scholarship is there for you already. Just to come. I declined that opportunity. Fast forward. Today you see there are a lot of opportunities for teaching, even worldwide. They want a qualification in education. I don't have. So I lost an opportunity because of being short-sighted. I also have my same friend. I saw him this year. We're discussing. He enrolled for a postgraduate diploma in education at 43 years. But we refused that from 2005 to date. So sometimes let's have eyes that see and ears that hear.
Thank you so much. I just wanted to add on some points. Number one, in FET colleges like Northlink, I've heard some people say if you're in grade 9, you can come and enroll at Northlink, right? As parents, we need to encourage our children so that they can pass. Coming to enroll at an FET college is not automatic. They really look at the grade 9. There is a grading, what do we call it, scale that they bring forward. If a child did not pass the grade 9, they are not allowed in. In FET college, it's a diverse of a lot of programs there. There is the engineering side. There is the hospitality side. So we need to help our children. I feel that at grade 9, for a child to come to a